Why we are on earth, what we are, what are we supposed to do on earth, what is our actual identity is. If we try to seek this truth, not an idea, not a belief from something else, from someone else who thought that was the truth, if somebody tried to understand this in this lifetime, it unlocks our own actual identity, our own actual ability and capacity and competencies as a human and as a soul. It releases us from every kind of negativity that has become a part of our life because of the life that we have lived on earth, because of our parents, religion, society, family system, friends, siblings, our own experiences, because we have forgotten. For example, if you, it is a normal thing, you see a drama or read a book where you see a person suffering and suddenly they came out of it. It seems like everybody, at least most people, you have a character that you want to be, right? It's so inspiring. Imagine putting yourself in that place and being that person. It must be really hard to be that person, whether you want to be a James Bond or you want to be some anime character or you want to be some fictional character. This is how life can be on earth, because when we are out and not living on earth, we are in a different mode. It is like suddenly we decided to come to earth forgetting our actual identity and taking on the identity that earth provides through our parents, which is connected to only to our body, not to our soul. This body is given to us by our parents, the name given to us by our parents and family. Similarly, the belief system, the behavior system, assumptions, thoughts, it's all has a way to change our life on earth, because once the life outside earth is very different than compared to the earth. I'll give an example. Why would we want to be here? I'll give you a simple example. Whatever truth or not truth, that is different. So if you're inspired by a character, especially people who have, superhuman abilities or faced a lot of difficulties and came out of it and achieved a lot in life, any fictional characters from a movie or a book, from an anime, it is so inspiring, isn't it? Yes. Souls outside earth also, they want to experience certain things, because outside the earth they can live however they want. They have freedom to live and be whatever they want. So when they see earth, it's an experience, a place of experience for those souls. It might not be the case for everybody, because many people voluntarily walk into earth for lots of other reasons. So many souls comes to earth for that experiences. So you may say, why would anybody want to suffer? I'll give you an example. For example, imagine who is an emperor, who's always surrounded by people who are envious of him. Even his wives and kids are not in love with him, but his power, his money, his status and everything. His parents are very not family type, because this has to be royalty and stuff. So basically he's busy all the time. He is surrounded by people who will always try to take things from him. He doesn't feel love from anybody, genuine love from anybody, even if his wives and children loves him. There's so many responsibilities are there on his shoulder. He cannot be having free time at all. Even if he wants to spend his time with his wife or children, he cannot. Maybe he has to do a lot of things without even wanting to do it. Going for a war or preparing for this or that. Imagine that person goes one day, decide to take a horse and just roam around his kingdom, and he suddenly sees a person, a farmer. It's a midday meal. He's having a midday meal sitting under a tree in front of his house, or inside near his house, near his field, with his wife and children by his side, and having some funny conversation and eating leisurely. And he might actually feel jealous about that poor farmer who actually work hard to eat that 2 meals a day, because of that freedom, that this king or emperor doesn't have. At the same time, that farmer or that person also may feel jealous about this person who's sitting on a horse, even without realizing that that's the king or an emperor, because it seems like somebody royalty has a freedom to do whatever I want. They have money and power and status, and they don't have to work hard. So basically everybody has something that someone else wants. So people or souls wanting an experience on earth is because of that reason. Not every soul on earth is for that reason, but truth is, many souls choose that kind of experience, want to have that kind of experience and come to earth. And there are a lot of universal laws that actually still works on earth. So changing our belief system is very much essential. Means coming out of every kind of a negative belief and behavior system, releasing ourselves from every kind of negative assumptions and negative thoughts, and embracing positive assumption, positive thoughts is very important, because earth has a thing that's called free will. What I'm trying to say is, just like anybody wanting to play a role, means you have to forget who you are. Yes, even if you're participating in a drama, a particular characteristic is written down: how they look, how they dress up, how they speak, their mannerism, their personality, their status, whatever they are, their existence, their age, their education, their status, their achievements, whatever. Similarly, on earth, it happens that way. So that is why when people taking the identity on earth, forgetting their actual, identity, become too serious about their temporary identity, and that's why they suffer. Many souls who come to earth, they make a plan before they come to earth, like experience this, experience that, I'll get over this, so then this happens, then that happens. It's called a blueprint. Usually souls make when they come to earth. Many comes with a project or a goal to achieve certain things, to help kids or help animals, or get over their own limitations as a soul, to expand their consciousness by experiencing different things. That is why if we are able to unlock those kind of things, we get to move ahead and meet different people, and experience those different kind of things. Many people fail to do that. So that is why when people come to earth, if we remember who we are, that is why it's essential for us to remember that this is all an illusion. It helps us to live a little bit easier life, detachment, realization that this is an illusion. This identity that we have is given to us because of wherever we are born into. In a similar way, all those belief system behaviors are given to us by those parents, siblings, friends, family, colleagues, whoever we meet. So if it is bad for us, it's our job to release that and embody what our actual truth is. And remembering who we are helps us. By define, we are divine. When we come out of the earth, there is no concept of God or something like that. Whatever we are, by define, we can call it as a, divine. We can define ourselves as that. It's just that because of the experience on earth and not remembering exactly who we are, feeling that helplessness and suffering happens to people. So that is why it's, divine also doesn't involve sometimes, because unless people reach to certain suffering, they keep doing the same thing. When people actually suffer, then only they question why it is happening, what I'm supposed to do, what is the solution. So if divine automatically keeps helping, it is like, adult parents, a healthy version of parents raising their children. If their parents are non-toxic parents, they would let their children to grow. For example, if a child falls and cries, they might help it one time, two times, and then they will tell you, get up on yourself, like get up, you can do it on your own. That is how you raise your kids. That's how divine works sometimes as well, because that is why. And second thing is, because of the free will on earth, they stay away. For example, if somebody is in a mode of sadness and they feel like nobody was there, and it is because of the free will, it might turn into that way because they are manifesting that. So it's very, very, very important to always choose positive outcome, positive assumptions, positively, no matter what the situation is, because the divine has the ability to deliver that. You don't have to believe in any religion, you don't have to believe in any deities or gods, or if you don't want to believe, don't want to believe. What divine wants us to believe is believe in ourselves. That is why we must question ourselves, who we are. We are the souls experiencing human body. What we are eternals, like immortals. Souls are immortal ones, and we have the ability to be whatever we want because we are on earth. Its density is very different. That is why we cannot. We're manifesting in a different way, so things can be delayed because of that. We just have to be making sure this is exactly what I want, and knowing that it's done means we have to believe in ourselves. If we cannot, then we can depend on any deities or gods or things like that, because depending on gods or deities are like children depending on parents. But at the end of the day, what parent wants is to children to grow up and depending on themselves. That is what a healthy parent would want. So divine always says the same thing: we are always here for you, you are never alone. Believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself, and remember who you are. Take your power back. You're not helpless. It's just that if we remember the essence of our soul, exactly who we were before we came to earth, our actual identity, we'll never feel lonely or we'll never feel helpless, because all souls are connected to each other. So our heart is connected to the divine world. We just need to do certain adjustment in our life. For example, having desire is not a bad thing. Wanting nothing is also desire. So nobody is free from a desire, no matter what we do. Having a comfortable life actually helps us to release a lot of trauma that we had in our childhood. Living a good life means, living in abundance, having that comfort is also good. So being materialistic is not about, indulging in those kind of things. If you're really attached to it or become overly depending on those kind of things, that can be different. Accepting abundance and living a very comfortable life actually releases a lot of negative karmic connections, entanglements, because it heals. Healing is the key for every single thing. That is why people who have a lot of things are able to heal themselves. So accepting that is our job, abundance, because by birth we are divine, and we are, abundance is our birthright. We just have to accept that we are deserving of that abundance. And one thing we have to know is whether somebody feeling helpless, or somebody need an answer, somebody need a solution, somebody need a suggestion, somebody needs something like an answer, a clarity, or a definite answer. What we have to do is, whether you believe in certain deity or God, it doesn't matter. Divine is always there to reach out, to give us the clarity and all the support and assistance, unconditional. Remember, when I say divine, it is unconditional love and support that we receive from them, without a fault. Every single one and every single time. You have to stick to it, that divine loves us unconditionally. And divine has nothing to do with the religion. Religion is different. So it is just faith works. This is why they say, belief is different, faith is different. We need to hold on to faith, not to believe. It's a faith that helps us a lot. For example, if we know how to solve a solution, if we know how to solve, but we don't know how to take next step, we can ask for it. Because of the free will, it depends on what we ask from the divine. Do we want a solution to show up in our head, or we want things to sort out its own? Then we can ask that from the divine and tell them, you go ahead and do that, and believe that it's done. That is our job. That is how things can be very easy for us to maintain our life. That is why spiritual people, you know, that is the spiritual ascension, that is a spiritual growth that we can have, letting go of the idea that, you know, I'm the one who's doing every single thing, I am nothing. But no, without my, you know, divine and universal self. Universe always says yes to every single thing. If I say I, it means me, universe, and the divine all together. So when we are in a team, it becomes easier for to manage every single thing. Means we have to get rid of the identity of who we are on earth and remember our essence, that we are a soul, we are divine by birth, we are completely supported by the divine world, and it's better to surrender to the divine, but also it's very important that uh, expressing self-love, practicing that self-love, self-respect, having a very good self-worth, being authentic to ourselves, and making a decision based on our heart's desires, always choosing to follow our intuition. And praying means you don't have to say anything, chanting or something like that. If we want a solution, if we want something to solve, we just have to decide that that's how it is, and ask once and let it go, and knowing that answer will come. Prayer is done that way, asking once and letting it go, because the answer will always come. And we have to believe that. If we keep questioning and questioning, doubting and doubting, it's like, you know, imagine you have the power to do anything because of the free will. Why not use it for our own benefit? Ask a question. Divine, this is how it is. I just want this to be sorted out in my favor. And handing it to the divine and letting it go. And a feeling. Having the feeling that it's done and never to doubt it. It's the easiest way to manifest. It requires certain things to do. Forgiving ourselves, forgiving every single one unconditionally, cutting out the fear from our life, cutting away all the limited and negative belief system, practicing some kind of a self-discipline, cutting away all the coping mechanism outside, like all the addictions, coping mechanism that we have to soothe ourselves from our traumas that we all have from childhood, no matter who we are. Most people have some kind of a trauma from their childhood, whether having extreme sympathy, empathy is also trauma from their childhood, because they want to heal everybody, because they did not receive that healing when they were children. So wanting to save the world is also a sign of trauma they received as a child. It is not healthy if it is burdensome for the person. Loving ourselves is our job. We cannot abandon ourselves, because God resides in everybody. One abusing someone else and they themselves abusing it same. So one must learn to love themselves, be gentle and kind to themselves. So this is how things can change on earth. Why I'm saying this is because it is very simple and complex altogether. It's like a paradox. It's so simple, it's complex, yet it's so simple. We just have to remember who we are. So cutting away all the processed food, cooking and eating at home, cutting out all the sugars, processed food, chemical-based things, and restricting every toxic consumptions. Not just food, thoughts, how we talk to others, what we listen to, social media, what kind of people that we are surrounded with, what kind of people we are having conversation with. All of those things also a consumption in an energetic way. So being with the positive things is good. If you're not into talking and negative, then we don't need to talk to people at all. It's okay to be alone than being with wrong people. All this helps a lot. So basically, removing the negative effect of earth that this body has. When we do that, our soul actually directly connects ourselves to the divine world. So we are basically always divinely guided and divinely protected. We have to remember that. When we are that, I know universe is like always says yes, no matter what we say. When you believe, it happens. So it's very important that even if somebody, if you're suffering, you decide that the suffering is ended, mugetali. That's just ended. That's how it is. You don't need to question it, how it's gonna happen. Do you want it to be sorted out, or you want to know all the answer? Solution is very important, right? That is how we can sort out things on earth sometimes. It's just how it is. I hope it helps whoever you guys are here checking this video.